My name is Agnieszka Marciniak, and I'm going to talk a little about adaptive learning. The basic idea, so it's the same as in the class. The teacher, in the ideal world, he would have time for every student to work with him individually. And the same goes for the digital content. The best way is if the digital content can work with each student individually. And this is the adaptivity. Yes, it adapts to the student. If he's working with the content and has many problems, probably the program should give him more information, simpler exercises. If he's doing everything great, maybe it's time to give him something harder. So this is the individualized teaching for every student. And the individualized teaching gives the increase of effectiveness. Yes, and of course it is more engaging. Where can we use this in the content? The content is built from learning objects. In mAuthor, this is just one page. Many pages create a sequence of pages, and from the sequence, the lesson, you can build a course. And the adaptivity can be used on each of these levels. It can be used on a learning object level, so on one page. It can be used on the level of sequences, or even on course level. However, if it is on the two lower steps, so the learning object and the sequence, it is done inside the tool, mAuthor tool, so it will work on each and every LMS. If this is done on the course level, it is done by the LMS, so it works only on this one. So the first level, the learning object level. One of possibilities is just to give immediate feedback. So for example, student gives wrong answer, we give him the information immediately. Hello, this is not the right answer. You can read the information again and try again. There are two ways to add such feedback in mAuthor. One is the visual feedback creator, and this is the module that makes it possible to add simple feedback in a simple way. This is just by using blocks to create a script. And the other way is to use the advanced connector. Advanced connector uses JavaScript, so it is a very powerful tool, but you can use it to create very complex feedbacks. Level higher is the sequence level, and this is something on which we are working, and we made something great. Like I said before, the adaptivity on this level will work on each and every learning management system. Making adaptive learning is harder than making simple lessons, because in a linear lesson you have less pages. This is less work for the editors, for the authors. To change a lesson from linear to adaptive, one is to just add the pages, and the other thing you need to do is to define the condition. Such a page that has multi-paths coming from it, you need to define what are the conditions for the student to go on each path. And you have many paths. From each point you can have many more crossroads. We created, and it's not yet in the mAuthor, but it's almost done, a tool for doing this, making such a graph easy. There will be a show adaptive button, and it will open such an editor, which you will see all the pages from the lesson, and you will be able to put those lessons on the graph, make the connections, define the condition. We also made something that will make easier to make the graph. The automatic way is just by defining the types of the pages. So we can have in the lesson informative page, assessment, an easy page, a basic page, a harder page, many types, and we can add those types as many as we want. And in the next step, we can set which page is what. And then I'll show you how it's working on a lesson. As you see, I have many pages here that are called easy, hard, and so on, and regular. I open this editor. As you can see, I have the types defined here of the all pages. And now I just click one button and it's done. The graph is built automatically, and the conditions are also automatically defined here. Of course, I can change them. I can add new connection, change the conditions at any moment. There are the easy, automatically defined conditions, and they are automatically, just if you have two paths, if you have less than 50%, you go to the left side. If you have more than 50%, you go to the right side. If you have more paths, it will equally be divided. And you can always add another connection, because you can say that if someone here got very good score, he will go here. So in this condition, you can use the number of checks, the number of errors and mistakes, the score, the max score and scaled score, the time spent on the page, and all the logical operators and or. So you can build a condition, anything you want. For example, if the student made more than 10 mistakes, or he spends more than 10 minutes on this page, he will go to the easy path. Yes, you can combine this condition any way you want. Such lessons are rather hard to test, because you would have to spend those 10 minutes on the page, for example, to go to the easy path. So it will be very time consuming. So we made a testing platform for this. On such a platform, you can, at any time, you see the whole graph, and you see where you are on this graph. And also you can use this graph to navigate to any page just by clicking on this page. At any moment, you see the conditions, so you know how to go to which page, and you can set any score on any page. So if you are on this crossroad and you know that you need to have less than 50% of these 3 pages, you can define here that the scores and max scores for these pages, set score and see what happens. Yes, you don't need to actually put the answers there. The problem which we are facing here is about how to compare the scores, the students which are going in the different paths. If a student went easier path but has a higher score than someone who went to the harder examples but was doing not so good on them, how to compare this? And the next level is the course level. As I said, this needs to be done on LMS level, and mCourser is LMS which has makes it possible to create adaptive courses. So not only adaptivity and lesson level, but also here. So you can make a pre-assessment test. Then if the student is doing not so good on it, he can go to remedial lessons, and only after them he will see the main topic. Or if he did very good on the assessment test, he will go all this path to the topic level. If he has very good results here, he will go to the enchanted lesson. If not so good, to the remedial, and so on. So this is another level of adaptive learning. mAuthor generates a lot of the critically important information, and this information is sent to the BigQuery, and it's stored there. So it will be able in the future to use it by external artificial intelligence to build adaptivity using this artificial intelligence. So this is the next step which will be made. Okay, thank you all.